I think, we have had many people who had actually come on this show, but we never actually had anybody who had, crossed the journey that our today's guest is going to go through with us. Because, a lot of people who had come on the show, they were either professionals or, they had come on the work visa to this place. But I think it's very interesting to know, somebody who has come as a student and then been on a journey where they have landed a good job, and then they are also been an influencer at a very a good level. So Sameeksha, good to have you on our show. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you, Pankaj. I'm so glad that I'm here. Thanks for inviting.
So so far we have done all the shows where we had a lot of serious conversations. So today I'm trying not to have that much serious conversation, but we'll still try to capture as much informative part as well as try to make it as much fun as possible.
It's going to be fun. That I can promise.
Okay, that's good. I think at least from your side. I don't know about mine, but definitely from your
At least
side.
I believe that I have fun stories. So let's see.
Let's see. Okay. So I think, before we even get into the fun part, I think it's important for people to understand, like, how did you landed in Ireland? Like, what were you doing in India, and what made you come here? What was the thought process behind it? Who did you approach? So just give us a very brief background to your story.
So to talk about my journey, I think it goes back to the whole point of where my parents, my family, all my cousins have done, are from science background, and I was the only one in the commerce side. So for me, I was like, okay, I have to justify this. I have to, because, I think at least then science was like a big deal. And if you're doing commerce, it's a stereotype where, your parents are thinking that, oh, you have to take science. But my parents have never forced me to do anything, to be honest. But somewhere I just felt like I need to justify that. And that's why I was like, what, I'm going to take finance. I'm going to do MBA. I'm going to go out for masters and also do chartered accounting, which I never did.
Yeah.
But I still chose the finance in my in my undergrad. I chose finance as a specialization, and then my master's is in finance.
Okay.
So that's the whole background, a little about my background. But and moving to Ireland is a very funny story, because I was supposed to go to New Zealand or London.
Okay.
So this was, I graduated in May 2019, and I had two friends, Tanya and Surya. So we used to always hang out together and stuff. And we were like, okay, you know what? We'll all go abroad. We're going to do our masters there. And my parents were like, if you don't have anyone accompanying you, we're not going to let you go. I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to tell my friends also, we're all going to go, and we all decided. And finally, we were looking at London, and we were looking at universities in London and stuff. But back then, I think London had 4 months post-study visa.
Okay.
And I was like, I just want to finish my masters, but at the same time, what if I want to stay back? 4 months is not enough, and I'm damn sure that I'm not going to get a job in 4 months.
Okay.
And then I had a friend in college. She was telling that Ireland is. I'm looking at Ireland, and they have really good opportunities. So you guys should look into it as well. I was like, okay, why not Ireland? And then I convinced both my friends. I was like, listen, Ireland, let's go to Ireland. Ireland is a better option. And I was actually also considering New Zealand. But then I was like, okay, New Zealand, Ireland, whatever, let's go Ireland only. I just wanted to get out. Just justify that, okay, when I'm doing masters, I'm doing something in life. Because back then, I think everybody makes you feel that, if you take up science and, you're doing engineering or your medical is the only field, at least in last it's been 4-5 years now, and I know that was the kind of stereotype that was there. But now things have changed. There's a lot of professions and stuff, but
influencer is one of the profession, right?
Definitely.
If you cannot be doing any commerce or any science, but if you could be as big of an influencer, somebody was actually telling me that being an influencer are actually even more known than the streamline actors these days.
Definitely.
So they have that much influence.
Definitely, I think there are courses like a lot of Nas Daily. He's started. They have courses where you can go and sign up just for content creation to study that.
Okay.
And my sister, my cousin sister recently, she's taken engineering and then she's doing her stream is AI. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Like, when you think about it, see, it's just still 4 years ago, but it just feels like shit.
Yeah.
I wish I had so many options,
I think right now, you're putting a lot of effort in creating content. I think in 3 years or 4 years down the line, AI will be creating all of it. All you will be doing is just buying some software and telling the software what to do. Right?
Exactly. I think AI has already taken over. But you know what? I really don't like it. I really like how our lives were before. I think there's no privacy to anything. Because, you talk about something and the next minute you're on Instagram and then you can see that pop up on your feed. Like,
yes.
I always feel attacked.
Afraid. Yes.
I'm like, somebody is watching or somebody is listening to you, because even you won't believe there was this one time I was upset about something and it's in my head. I'm just thinking to myself. And then the next minute, I'm just going through my feed and then I see 2-3 reels related to what I was stressing about.
Yes.
I'm like, and I started stressing about this. I'm like, oh my God, somebody is watching me.
So it's a funny story. It's same thing happened to me. I was, but these days, if I'm actually looking to buy something, I call it out 10 times, like randomly, without anybody listening, because I know when I'll open my phone, it will show me the ad. And I don't even need to search for it because Facebook has heard it. So sometimes it actually works that it has created less job for me to go and find proactively.
Exactly. Yeah. I think one of my friend was also telling, I was just having this conversation about this podcast and then he's like, bro, we just had this conversation and then I started seeing Pankaj reel pop up on my feed. I'm like, see, they're listening, they're watching. We are not alone here. People are watching. Somebody is there.
Yeah. So anybody you speak to make me viral, all you would have to do is even quietly whisper it the Pankaj Show, right?
I'm just gonna think about it. I'm just gonna think about who's the guest today at Pankaj Show. I wanna watch and then it's gonna pop up on my feed.
The whole world will conspire to make it true.
I'm telling you,
So that's good. Look, I think so what happened to these other two friends? Did they also come?
They're still here.
They're still sticking to you.
Yeah, and one of them works with me. She's still in we go to the same, we work at the same company and we have lunch together. All we discuss is about, oh my God, it's been 4 years that we've come here and those are the conversations that we have. Both my friends are still here and I'm so grateful that we took this decision and today we're here and we're all in we're all I wouldn't tell settled, but I think we're all succeeding in our own fields. So I'm really glad that we actually made that decision. Yeah.
Look, I think, if you have made it to the Pankaj Show, I think you're definitely doing something right.
Yeah, probably, yes.
So I think, since all your friends, she's working with you as well. Have you planned other things with her, like to get married together, to have kids together? Because since you've been doing everything together with her.
Bro, we are actually living in a parallel world that, whatever's happened ever since we moved here is so aligned. It's either in 2-3 months gap that everything is similar things have happened. And I'm like, bro, I think we're living in a parallel world.
Yeah, so if one person thinking of
getting married
or having a boyfriend, the one person makes it, the other person gets it automatically.
Yeah, we don't talk about boyfriends and marriage now. So we've all escaped to, Yeah.
Judva type ho raha hai. Anyway, I think so. When you came here, right? It's an interesting journey. But when you came here, what was the did you find the studies useful, or were you getting enough information? And how did you then, after completion, how difficult was it to then find a job?
Okay, so my story is a little different because I moved here in 2020 Jan. So I came for the Jan intake. So I still remember 19th Jan we landed and March 10th there was lockdown.
Okay.
But luckily, we stayed on the we stayed on campus, so it was student accommodation, and we were really lucky because we were all locked up together with other students.
Okay. So it was more fun.
It was really fun. It was really fun. There were a lot of students from a lot of other nationalities and stuff. And I think for me, it's a complete different journey because I know people who came in the same time had different stories. That's why I always tell, when people reach out to me, they're like, oh, about accommodation. When you move into a new country and you're studying, always stay on campus because one, it's closer to, especially in Ireland because it's super cold. It's always easier. You'll definitely not miss out classes. And second, you meet a lot of people. You learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because for me, that's what happened for me. Because I was on campus. I met like so many nationalities, and people had come for student. They were all in that student exchange program and stuff. And I was exposed to other cultures. So I really recommend people to stay on campus, even if it's a little on the pricier side. I really think that the exposure you get and the things you learn is really beneficial in the long run.
Yes.
So that's what helped for me.
Yeah.
And I think making friends, I like talk. You let me talk. I'll sit here on the show. I can run the entire show. That's how I am. So for me, making friends wasn't that difficult. But definitely, I've heard a lot of stories where a lot of people who've come here go into depression, and I think being homesick is one of the major problems that all of us face. But I think it is very important to mingle with people, and a lot of people feel that I think Indians actually have this mentality that they don't have the confidence in them, because some people think that their English might not be as good, or they get carried. They just get carried away, or they just get, it's just a misleading thing. I just feel like that they just feel they're in a foreign country, so you basically have to speak English that way, like equivalent to them, to level up or make a point and stuff. So I just feel like, and also I think it's our mistake that we empower other people, even if you don't speak English well, or even if you're just even if you're a mediocre at English, and even if your English isn't good, if you're confident enough, and if you have the right skill, you will secure a job. You will create your mark. You will stand out. So that's what I believe in. So I just feel like students, I just tell students to always stay on campus, because you will be exposed to a lot of opportunities.
I think staying on campus is one thing, but I think even when you're going to college, just not mingle within the same people,
community, or same ethnicity. Don't be with the same people. Yeah.
Just try and maybe mingle with others, because then you get to learn. But if you were to mingle in the same community, then sometime you're restricting yourself to learn other things that you could have possibly learned.
I think that's where the whole language barrier comes into picture. Because you know what? A lot of people think that their English isn't good enough, but they want to communicate. They want to be friends with you, but then the English isn't that good. But then it's not like, you have to know English and you have to be fluent in it. As far as you can communicate something, as far as you can
get your message across.
Enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're gonna make fun of you.
I think it's more sometimes your own mindset that restricts you other than anything. The confidence, and I think once you start doing it, then it just becomes a routine. So I think like anything else. But anyway, so and after you finish your course, then how long? What was the waiting period for you when you started applying for jobs, and what was the process then?
Right. So I graduated in November, and I got a job in Jan. So it was
Okay.
like a 2 months, period. But I was working at HSC because COVID was like a really big deal. At in HSC, they had this thing going on, like a part-time job, or it was actually a full-time role for anyone who had stamp 1G. So basically, you call the people who are infected by COVID or this, and then
Yeah.
all the contacts, and then you just inform them, ask them to follow the procedures. And there's another sector, data entry, where you're entering all the data and
Okay.
stuff. So this
So
was,
you were not free, like you were always
I was
occupied.
occupied.
Yes.
I didn't work. I didn't do part-time job when I initially moved here. But right after my, I got my transcript and I got my stamp 1G. I got a job at HSC, and while I was I was working there. I was applying, constantly applying. And one thing I had in my mind was my parents wanted me to go back after I finished my masters.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, I didn't see anything. I didn't enjoy my life. I was locked up for like more than a year.
Yeah.
And I want to like live this life, and I really enjoyed the freedom also.
Yeah.
But not in a wrong
Which
way.
freedom? I don't think there is any freedom. You're just working and going home and sleeping. I don't know what freedom you're talking about. There is no freedom. You don't want to give that message when parents are watching. No, there's no freedom.
Freedom matlab, I mean, like, the independent,
Yeah.
I've been independent, but the kind of independent, what do you tell, like,
Being able to not be able to
Depend
notify
on anyone.
everyone anytime you're
depend
doing.
on anyone.
Yeah.
My mom never let me to get inside a kitchen, but not because she doesn't want me to cook, because you see I'm so clumsy, so she's like, you don't come inside the kitchen, you're gonna
Drop something, yeah.
something, you're gonna do something. So I never learned how to cook.
Yeah.
But after coming here, I learned how to cook, clean, become responsible, and that's what I just feel like when I look at myself now. I just feel like shit, I've come long way.
I was gonna make a joke that perfect girlfriend or wife material, but then I'm gonna get a lot of bashing online. This guy is, I think, after then you landed a job in.
I got a job in Accenture. I started working with Accenture. And then 9 months in, my LinkedIn, that's one major tip I really want everyone to follow, is make connections. The minute you land in this country, start making connections, start sending requests to people. Just type recruiters, randomly start sending. Don't buy LinkedIn Premium until you've graduated. Like, once you graduate, take LinkedIn Premium. There's 1 month free subscription. I'm giving LinkedIn free promotion, so please contact.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think once you have got the premium yourself, you can start then you can give 2 months free to the other person also. And then you don't charge them for free, you charge them for 1 month, right?
Yeah,
you start making money that way.
You
It's
start
a
making
business
money
model
that way.
there.
So
Completely.
basically, LinkedIn is
Yes.
the deal. Like, go on LinkedIn, reach out to people. Max to max, they won't respond, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what's the big deal? Like, just drop a
No,
message.
networking-
Look, like, networking is the most important thing
So
here.
when I worked at Google, that was 7-8 years ago, I was told that 70% of the hires were referral.
Right.
And if you're actually even applying for the role, and they had like thousands of thousands to go through, but they don't have the obligation to reply to all these applicants. Whereas if somebody refers them, then they have the obligation. When they have the obligation to reply to you, then at least they'll have your CV reviewed.
Yeah,
at least.
yeah, right.
So at least you get that set of eyes on
Yeah.
it, rather than being like in a
Definitely.
junk.
But then,
You had also started your own channel.
Yes.
I don't know, should we say founder of
Flyabroad.
a channel?
I think that's a whole other topic altogether, because I think most of the influencers, I wouldn't tell like I'm a big influencer or anything. I just started something, and I'm really happy that it's going well. So Flyabroad is my channel. So
Is your baby?
Is my baby, my
Yeah.
first baby. And I just feel like I have a good friend who is both of us like have created something really nice and which we want to help people. So the whole idea behind it is because I've always wanted to get into content creation, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to have the mainstream, niche. I always wanted to do something stand out. So, and that's when the whole Vox Pop was a big thing. If now also, like, Vox Pop is like the big deal. Like, everybody is interviewing and there's, different kind of questions and stuff. But what I figured was the need here in Ireland mainly, and to bridge the gap between, because when I moved here, I had no idea about what's happening in Ireland, what is Ireland, what is what, like, no. I had no idea. But so that's when I started thinking, I'm like, okay, you know what, Vox Pop and ideas about Ireland that's how it started.
Yeah.
And I had a friend who is really amazing. He's very talented as well. So I discussed with him, and then we were like, okay, you know what, let's start this. And then we started everything together 2-3 months in, and we started getting amazing response. People started loving our content. So yeah, that's a little about Fly Abroad.
Yeah, at least you're not going into people houses. Have you seen that?
I have. But you know what? When I see those videos, I'm like, bro, if these guys were ever to come to my house, they would be like, what is she doing? But this is, this is one thing. We as content creators, we hop on the trends and we do all these reels. And then recently there's this new trend, right? So we were shooting, and then in the so there's this of course thing, and then we've put, of course, we're Indians, of course we smell like curry. The comment section is full flooded with, oh, we don't smell like curry, don't generalize. It's just a stereotype. And I think a lot of people, what I've seen out of my page and my experience is that they come and put out their frustration just there. I think social media has become a platform where the whole media, the whole content creation is growing because people just want to come and they want to put out their frustration.
They want to bash you.
They want to give it out. They have
keyboard warriors.
Yeah, they have fake profiles. They have so many things. They just want, which I respect. Like, I have nothing to, I have nothing against that, because everyone has their own way of dealing things. This is the main reason content creation is going like booming, because
I think it's good when people are commenting, and if they're giving you feedback, sometimes you can look at it as a good thing. But
Definitely.
I think the bad thing about it is when people create fake profile and then they comment just so they cannot be recognized, and I think sometimes it could be your competitors also who's trying to bring your channel down. So I think there is that, rivalry thing that can also be, which I think is not a healthy competition.
It's not, no. Yeah.
So I actually uploaded a couple of YouTube videos, and I had like a lot of comments. I had to turn off my comment section just because I think people were constantly creating fake profiles and putting out malicious comments.
I would definitely like to talk about something when you said about your posts and stuff. So we interviewed this one girl, very beautiful, such good information she's given. She's just wearing sari. Okay, she's wearing sari, and we've uploaded the video. Video goes viral. We're happy that it's doing well. But the comment section is flooded with so much hate comments that it led to a point where people have DM'd her and they've started slut shaming her only because she's wearing sari, and it's a little revealing. Like, come on, which generation are we in? Can you like imagine you're slut shaming someone? But like, I was taken back. I was like, no, I apologized. I was like, you want us to take the video down, we'll take it down. But she's such a strong woman. Honestly, I really look up to her. She was like, no, I was a journalist back in India, and I've gone through more shit. But if we don't stand up today, this is going to continue. Somebody else will be a victim. So I think at the end of the day, I just feel like we're human. Like, we're just trying to do something to entertain you guys, and it's just a way of, probably you can tell, yes, a lot of people tell that, content creators are just don't do it to have fun and stuff. They make good money out of it. Of course, everything is a profession. Like, content creation.
But if you're spending your time on it, if you're spending 7-8 hours, and if you don't expect to get anything in return, of course there is 50% could be for good cause or 50% could be for your own satisfaction.
Exactly.
But everything, your own time costs money.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes you just have to noise block all these
Yeah, no,
comments.
if you're in this field, you have to be dumb and deaf. Simple.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. That's
no,
the
I think
only
deaf
key.
is good. I don't think
Yeah.
you need to be dumb. You
Dumb,
need to be
yeah,
not
yeah,
dumb
deaf. Yeah,
because
you have to be deaf. You have
yeah.
to just be deaf about all of such things and just take it
Yeah.
light. Because at the end of the day, people are going to talk. If you do good, if you do bad, whatever,
Yeah.
people are going to talk. So
Yes, exactly. I think as long as you know that you have not done anything wrong, you have created the right thing, and the intention was right,
Yeah.
and the message that you want to get across is for a reason, and it was supposed to be helpful. If it didn't turn out this way, I think we are all humans. We all make mistakes, and I think once you learn from it, if it was a mistake, if it wasn't, I think you just
Yeah.
let it be as it is. If I were you, I would have actually uploaded 3 more with the sari,
Yeah.
just to make a point
Yeah.
that there is nothing wrong
Definitely.
with it.
No, definitely. That is true. But that girl was strong. So, okay. But I've had incidents where people have DM'd me to take down the video.
Okay.
I've had incidents where people can't take the criticism. They can't. They're like, what the hell? I
Yeah.
have such a private life. And then, I just gave an interview and then somebody is just, talking so much shit about me. I have so many people. I can't even tell you how many people have asked us to take down the video.
Yeah.
Like, we've posted it and then we've taken it down. So,
But do you tell us the fun part? Do you actually have to get them to sign the disclaimer or like some declaration that they're happy
no.
for you to upload it?
no, so what we do is, while after shooting, we have it on camera where we ask them that, are you okay with us posting the video?
Okay.
Because tomorrow you never know how things can turn out, and
Yeah.
but we really respect every single person we've interviewed with. If they're not comfortable, we do not put out that content.
No, but yeah, I mean everything. I think it has repercussions if if
Exactly.
people start commenting
Yeah.
those hate
No,
comments or if they're shaming
every
others.
video that have been requested to be taken down have been taken
Yeah.
down.
So that's a job on its own. You're constantly on your DMs, right?
Exactly.
But how do you even sometimes filter through your DMs to say which one is relevant? Because sometimes people are just messaging you for fun,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
trying to just get in touch with you, or if they see a girl
Yeah.
doing it, they may just wanna, I really like you, and
Yeah.
sending you proposal online.
Yeah.
You get proposals online just because of you're well known and people are seeing who you are.
I receive more than proposals. I think I receive very funny, compliments. I take it in a really, fun way, and I laugh it out. But yes, I think for a girl, it's very common to, if you're social, if you just, if you have a public account and, people just start DMing you and they start asking you questions. They're like, oh, this. And then there are other set of people who want to talk to you in a very different way and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I haven't had like a worse situation, or I haven't been
You haven't had a
attacked.
stalker yet.
Yeah, I
Okay.
haven't had a stalker who's like, watching my moves and all of that. Luckily, oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
scary.
It's
The
only-
whole word of
Only
the
your
word-
phone is listening to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that word stalker is so scary. But yes, but when it comes to my page, I think that's why this is where the whole technology comes into picture. Only because, you can't DM, you don't know who's legit, who's actually seeking your help and stuff. So there's this platform called Topmate. So
Okay.
we have, you can create your account there, and you can put that link out on your profile, and people can book a session, and they ask any questions they have related to moving abroad or about studies or visa issues and stuff. I keep getting I think most of the questions and DMs that I get is related to moving abroad and to just seek help. But the dumbest thing is that they ask, can you get me a job in this country? Can you get me a job here?
Yeah.
I'm like, I am not a company.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you information. Where will I get job for you?
I think though it can be a good propeller in a way that, once if you get a same query regarding the same topic all the time, you can actually create a company out of it. If a lot of people are saying, move me abroad, why don't you just collab with some
That's-
consultancy and you pass them these students?
That's the bigger picture, no? Like that's
And maybe
the,
you're doing it already. You're like watching there, like
no. I mean, that's the plan in the future.
Yeah.
We have to see how things work out for us, because I think having a full-time job and doing content creation is not easy.
no.
It's definitely not easy, because a lot of people back home, I think they have everything. We were privileged, even if you are, in the smallest house to the biggest, community, whatever you are, you at least have your parents, you have your siblings, you have your friends, you have a shelter. You don't have to go back home, cook, clean, do your laundry and stuff. But
Yeah.
here, we have full-time jobs, and
Yeah.
then we're cooking, we're cleaning. There's so much in addition to just
Yeah.
working and doing content creation.
Yeah.
So I feel like that, when my friends back home, they're like, oh, you two are having fun now.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, all you see is my Instagram
Yeah.
post, Instagram reels, and think that I'm having fun. But my life here
Yeah.
is like, there's a thing, there's a saying like, donkey that you...
Donkey work.
Yeah, donkey work. That's how it is. I go, bro, like literally, I go to work Monday to Friday. I have to go to the office, and I have to come back home, and then I cook. I like eating spicy
Home-cooked food,
food,
yeah.
and I need my spices to be right. I need home food. I cannot like manage. So I cook my meals, I cook, I clean, and then, I go. By the time I go, I'm in the bed, it's almost like 9:30, 10-ish. I'm so tired by the end of the day.
Yeah.
I just pass out. Because
Yeah.
I wake up at like 6:30, and then till 10, I'm like on the run. So
Yeah. You've told me your day schedule anyway, from morning to night,
it's
including
not...
your cooking,
It's
including how hard the life is. So
Pankaj,
Yeah,
you
it's not
tell
because
me,
you were supposed
tell
to-
me you've done this longer than I have.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
still like a baby for this, because I've just come here 4 years ago. You've been here, I think, I don't
Yeah.
even know how many years you've been here for. So
Since
your
medieval era.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at that. So you know the struggles that you've
Yeah.
gone through,
But
right?
look, to be honest with you, I think this is one thing I enjoy rather. Reason being, at least there is no traffic 24 hours. If you need to go somewhere,
Please,
you're
you
not
live in
stuck
Dublin.
here.
Don't talk about that. It took me almost 1.5 hours to come from,
Yes.
my workplace to here. So don't.
But you have come at a peak time. But in India, if you're in India, the traffic situation is
It's
24 hours.
24/7.
Even
True.
when you travel in night, the air quality is good. Thirdly, you are becoming independent. So there are a lot of good things to it as well. I think every place has its own pros and
Pros
cons.
and cons, definitely. But you know why I said that? There's so much in addition to just working and earning and stuff.
Yeah.
Is only because people assume that if you move abroad, your life is set. You
Yeah.
have this, oh, I'm the king, everything's good and stuff. No, don't come with that assumption.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't come with that assumption. Just know that you need to wipe your own shit, because there's no mummy, there's no papa, there's no workers, there's nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to come, you have to do your shit, because your friends are going to do it for you 1 day, 2 day. The third day, they'll be like, bro, shut.
Yeah,
Just do it.
yeah, yeah.
So that's how it is. So for the people who assume that, I mean, there are
You get
two-
influenced by Bollywood movies where you see that they're going abroad and partying.
Exactly.
And
Reality
then
where you can't.
reality, the problem is, I think we ourselves are creating that persona. When we post online, we never post we are cleaning the dishes, or we
Yeah.
never post we are cooking.
Yeah.
I think there was this one posture where there were four, like it was in the quadrant, there were 4 photos: what my friends thinks, what my father
Yes,
thinks,
yes,
and
I
what do I
watched that.
actually do.
I watched that.
So
Yeah,
that
I've
is,
seen
I think,
that,
the
yeah.
reality of the things. So I think you've shared quite a bit on many different topics. Hopefully people get a lot of idea. You have, also suggested that, you're also going to start another business of consultancy somehow. Plus, I think you've also mentioned to me you're starting your own podcast. So I think you have your hands
Occupied, yeah.
not occupied, but they're just trying to find different
Yeah.
areas where you can plunge into. And I wish you best of luck in anything you may want to do. And thank you for coming.
Thank you, Pankaj. It was really fun. I hope, like I mentioned, it was fun.